What's going on, everybody? This is Team America, Dual Throw Outdoors. Here to talk to you about today the number one mistake guys make throwing jigs. I personally don't make this mistake because it's bit me in the butt way too many times in the past, losing fish in tournaments or even fishing for fun. So what was that mistake, you may ask? Well, first of all, let me go over the two primary jigs I use 99% of the time. First one, I guess the first one kind of be in two categories, but it's basically your casting and dragging jig. This is just a standard custom-made ball head jig by my buddy Rob Horn. Just an Okeechobee crawl color with a Berkeley chigger crawl in the back. I've talked about the chigger crawls before here on the channel. But good jig, good clear watercolor, even if the water's a little stained with the blue. But, you know, I'd fish this the same way I'd fish a football head jig as well. Just the ball head, you know, you can still you get stuck a little easier than you do with the football, but you can definitely still drag this just as well. So there's basically dragging jigs, whether it's ball head or football. Next is our flipping jig. This is personally my favorite flipping jig. This is the Ike's mini flip jig by Missile Baits. Very good for me on lakes with largemouth, flipping around wood or heavy grass. Now, if we look at these jigs, what's the obvious difference? Well, casting jig has no weed guard, flipping jig has a weed guard. And that's where we get to the point of this video. Biggest mistake anglers make is overusing the weed guard. Now, this is a flipping jig. I'm going to be flipping against wood. I'm going to be flipping it into heavy grass, stuff like that. So those situations, you got to have them, unfortunately. But outside of that, it's just killing you. I'm going to tell you why here. So, as anyone who fishes a tough fishery with a lot of pressure knows, a lot of times the fish aren't just, you know, rapidly hitting. They're just not, like, just barely biting it. And when they're doing that, with this weed guard here, barely bite, you could feel it, set the hook, they don't even have it yet. Or they kind of bite down on, and the weed guard blocks the hook. Because even when you're flipping, you basically need them to smash it, which they do a lot of the time, especially in grass. But if you're fishing open water and you're using a weed guard, you're costing yourself fish. Even if they are biting it hard, that's just more getting in the way of them getting hooked. So when that happens, either get your custom-made jigs without a weed guard for dragging situation, which honestly I probably drag 80% of the time. This is more of a specialized lake situation. Either get you a custom-made jig like this with no weed guard or cut the dang thing off. They're not doing you any good. If you're not fishing on cover, they're just hurting you. So that is hands down for what I've seen the biggest mistake people make with jigs is leave the stupid weed guard on if you're not flipping. So if you're not flipping, take the dang thing off or get you some jigs made that don't have weed guards. This is Team America Dual Throw Outdoors coming to you with a big tip on the biggest mistake guys make throwing jigs. Cut off the weed guard. Thank you for watching this Dual Throw Outdoors video. If you like this video, be sure to leave it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more Dual Throw Outdoors content.